My name's Roi Stivенson. I work at the Museum of London. I'm London's Historic Environment Lead. The Museum of London is the City Museum of Archaeology and History for Londoners and all visitors to London. The object I'd like to talk to you today is quite a mundane-looking object. It's called London Stone. It's not actually part of our collections. It's been on display twice at our museum, once in a predecessor museum. It's usually on display in a niche in a building at 111 Cannon Street in the City of London. It's a rounded block of Oolithic limestone, about 50 centimetres high, about 30 centimetres deep, and about 40 centimetres wide. It's basically a lump of rock. It was first recorded as being in place in Cannon Street in the 11th century. It was a byname, a place. People lived at a place called London Stone. It was mentioned on numerous occasions of time throughout medieval London. But in 1550, Jack Cade led a rebellion against the corrupt cronyism of Henry VI. And in Shakespeare, Henry VI, Part 2, Scene 6, Cade has said, "Now is Mortimer lord of the city, and here sitting upon London Stone, I charge and command that of the city's costs. The pissing conduit run nothing but claret wine this year of our reign, and now henceforth it shall be treason for any that calls me other than Lord Mortimer." So in effect, Jack Cade takes command of the City of London by his association with London Stone. He's in the script, he's described as sitting astride it. And this might be one of the places where we have this talismanic nature of the London Stone as being a protecting stone for the City of London. It goes on to survive great plagues, the Great Fire of London of 1666, but by 1742 it's getting in the way, and it's moved to St Swithin's Church on the north side of Cannon Street and ends up in a cupola in the south wall. By the 19th century, London Stone is a tourist attraction. It's mentioned in guides, and it's also becoming associated with the well-being of the city. St Swithin's is destroyed by German bombing in 1940. London Stone survives. It sits in the cupola at the end of the church, with the rest of the church wrecked around it. At that point, it's removed by one of my predecessors to the Guildhall Museum for a display in the 1950s. It is subsequently incorporated into the Bank of China building, which was replaced by the present building in 2018. The Museum of London displayed the stone in 2016, giving a certain amount of anxiety in the Brexit year that maybe we would tip the balance. So how well is the London Stone at protecting the city? It's seen the city through the Black Death, the Great Plague, the Great Fire of London, the Blitz, and frankly, we don't know how severe COVID-19 might be without London Stone.